you're just joining us, I'm joined by Boy Nash today. I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things as an artiste, man, as an artiste. So won't keep you too long. How's the volume? You can hear me okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you good, bro.
Perfect. Okay, so we're streaming live onto Twitch. So welcome to everyone who's joining us here. Don't forget to hit the command for Boy Nash to check out all of his music and of course his socials as well, which I'll put in the chat right now. Here we go. So perfect, man. First of all, man, thank you very much for joining us here.
No worries, no worries. Thank you for having me, man.
How have you been? Are you okay?
What do you say? How have I been?
How have you been? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been good, man. Can't complain. Getting on with it. You get what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
Getting the music out, just living. You know, obviously COVID season, but yeah, doing what we can.
How have you found it being locked down and not being able to perform? Because I know from what I know of you, you're big on the performance circuit. You know.
I know, man. That has hurt. You know what? Funny enough, I haven't thought about it too much, but recently it hit me the other day. I was doing a little freestyle. I think, in the studio with a couple of the man them, and I was forgetting my bars, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even remember half of my lyrics because I haven't performed like so long.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's taken a little bit of a buzz. Like I get a little buzz from performing. So when I can't perform it, it's just that void has to be filled. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been trying to search and figure out. Oh, how do I fill this void? So definitely, as an artist, man, it has affected me, man, because I love to be on the stage, innit?
How have you been filling the void then?
Boy, I've just been doing drives. Crazy, man. I've just been driving to places, man. Box Hill, Reigate. I just, listening to music, more writing, but also because of the release of this project, Love and Frequencies, a lot of the time I would have been performing the music. But now, because everything's digital, I'm more focused on emails and administration side of things as well. So now I've got kind of my executive hat on as well, and managerial hat as opposed to just having the artist hat on. So that's how I've been filling the void. To be fair,
are you able to flip between those hats, as it would?
Yeah, man, I flip through so many hats, man. I just know I can play the role, but I don't really like the admin side of things or the managerial side of things. I don't really like that. I'm more of an artist, performer, writer, getting in the studio. But I mean, times have presented themselves, and I have a lot of time on my hands. I can't perform, so therefore I'm forced to wear this hat. But I mean, it's life. I can flip through so many hats.
And so for those who don't really know too much about you, if you could give yourself a brief overview of what kind of artist you are, how long you've been doing music for, etc.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, well, all right, Boy Nash the Great. Obviously, that's the artist side. That's who I am. So I'm a creative writer, performer, mainly over hip hop beats or lyrical artist. You know, I kind of fuse spoken word, rap, rough singing, and I try to connect. My goal is to connect with the listener and evoke emotion. So my goal is when you listen to my music, it's meant to provoke emotion or provoke some element of thought. Like, oh, what did he say? What's that? What does that mean? So that's the kind of artist I am. In terms of beats that I'm using, predominantly my foundation is hip hop. But over the years, we've experimented with different beats. So always having a hip hop foundation in terms of lyrics and beats, but also kind of diving out. So it's kind of become a bit alternative. In terms of music, I've been making music for as long as I can remember. Do you know what I mean? Like I started making music when I was like 14. You know, like on the block, just rapping and stuff like that. So it's been a part of me, and through music, I've been able to grow as well. So it's kind of like a therapeutic and a self-practice as opposed to more gear into the business side of things. But where obviously interest has come and the fan base is growing, we have been forced to kind of become a bit more of a business. You know, look at the business aspect of things. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. To be fair, it's like a lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that keeps on coming up whenever I come across your music or when I hear people speak of you is this idea of consciousness. Would you classify yourself as a conscious artist?
Do you know what? In terms of society, what society would say, I'm definitely a conscious artist, man. Like that's what society would term me as. But I don't see myself as a conscious artist. To be fair, I see myself as someone who just provokes thought and just questions everything. Do you know what I mean? Like I just don't look at the color blue and say this is the color blue. I'll look at the color blue and say what made the color blue, what two colors made the color blue, what's behind the color blue, what painting brush made that, you know, like that's just me as a person. So I'm always kind of questioning things, and I think through me questioning a lot of things, it just reflects in my music as a deep thinker, you know. So I'm just a bit more aware, I would say, and just deep thought.
So how much, with everything that's going on in society today, especially with stuff like racial tension, political protests, and then things like lockdown and the coronavirus and work and the music industry and stuff like that, how have those kind of topics affected you, and how have they been incorporated into your music?
Perfect, bro. Like, Rob, this stuff has been mad. So, like, for me, I feel like this is the perfect time for me to put out music. You know what I mean? Like, this is the perfect time for people to take my music in, because a lot of people are looking for answers now. Do you know what I mean? 100%. So a lot of people, there's no clubs no more for people to go and turn up in. People are stuck in their yard. So now there's a lot of time for them to listen to the music and actually take it in. So for me, I think this is the perfect time for me to flourish, you know, and to put out that motivates people, and also kind of helps people with their thought pattern. But with the protests, the COVID, everything that's going on, it's just obviously in society's eyes, it's not great in terms of like what's going on. People are locked inside, but in terms of a consciousness and an awakening for the mind, for myself, my artistry, and people, I think this is a great time, you know, because people are really asking the questions now. People are starting to kind of see behind what the veil, and like, oh, why is that? I don't get this. What's happening here? You know, so it's been good. I can't complain.
What's been your biggest question out of all of it for you personally?
My biggest question out of COVID, or everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't have a question to why it's going on. I believe that I believe I wouldn't say I know exactly what's going on, but for me, my spirit tells me what's going on, and I just feel like it's a transition. We are transitioning into a higher level, like a different. We're transitioning, and it's also it's evolution. I think of the mind, for us to kind of our minds to open to see what's really going on, and I also feel like it's also a method of control and to keep everyone at bay, because I think when we were allowed outside, you know, like the world was getting crazy, man. The world was getting crazy. Saturday nights is popping off, Friday. It's just all crazy, and I think everything's just. They just wanted to control us and just put a little stamp on us and say, guys, behave. Yeah. And that's what I think it genuinely is. And I genuinely feel like it's not going to change. I feel like there's going to be a third lockdown, and I feel like they're going to keep pushing these lockdowns until they're able to vaccinate everyone, you know, or try to vaccinate everyone. And that's just my thought pattern. So I'm not really asking questions. I'm just guessing, and my predictions are always coming right. Because I remember when we went into the second lockdown, I said, no, the second lockdown is not going to last. It's going to last way longer than January. And it did last till and we're still in it. So I just don't know. Until my predictions are wrong, then I'll be like, rah, okay, what's going on here? But for now, I think I kind of get it to some degree.
And I know you spent a lot of time, I think you grew up, did you say you grew up in Ghana, spent a lot of time over here, okay, obviously in the UK. What would you say the main differences that you found based on society and then also based on music?
Oh, in Ghana, I think, it's true. It's a whole different living. Like the living is totally different in Ghana to UK. It's very different in terms of the music. When I was in Ghana, we was part of the GH rap movement, so we was now getting the music out there, getting like hip hop and stuff out there. But now Ghana has blown, like Africa's blowing up, and Ghana's like one of the biggest places. You know, a lot of people are moving down there. Charlemagne's got a house down there. There's lots of shows going on down there. So I would say the music is opening up over there, innit? But I feel like in terms of the UK, we was ahead, or we were ahead. The UK was ahead of Ghana in terms of music, like business and stuff like that. So that's one of the main differences, I would say, between Ghanaian music at that time and obviously UK music. Another difference, I think, I would say with Ghanaian music to UK music is in Ghana, a lot of the music, even though some of the music is English and stuff like that and it's hip hop, the hip hop stuff would be seen as underground because a lot of the people speak the local dialect languages or the local languages down there. Whereas the UK, I mean, the music is predominantly English. But again, hip hop as well in the UK is kind of underground as compared to the pop scene in the UK. You know, so those are the main differences. But really and truly, I think music is a universal language. Do you feel me? So we feel it the same way as well.
I think we've seen that more now, more than ever, especially with the increase of music like grime, UK hip hop, those kind of genres heading into more mainstream music, going across into Europe and then into America. Now Americans are paying a lot of attention to us, and people are collaborating with American artists. People are performing in and around Europe. I know when I speak to a lot of my viewers who are from Sweden, Germany, these places like that, they know all of the UK artists. They know a lot of people. They know Fredo, they know Young Bane, they know it's Skepta. It's crazy. Like a few years ago, you would think that being from London, we have this mentality of London is the most important thing in the world, and nothing else matters almost, So everything else is extra. Manchester, nah. Birmingham, nah. And I feel like it's the same when it comes to the country as well, thinking that we don't understand how powerful UK music is reaching at the moment as well. I mean, I'm in another country right now and I'm hearing it on the radio. I'm like, oh shit, these guys know about that. So it's quite interesting. It also made me... one of the things that have come up as well, you saying when you was in Ghana as well, they kind of knew you as a kind of more of a grime guy because of the English accent. So talk to me about that. Why are they classifying you as grime as opposed to more hip hop?
Because I was that's one thing people don't know, man. And I don't even toot my horn about it, man. But when I was in Ghana around, let's say probably about 2010, say 2010, 2009, them times when I was rapping in Ghana, what I would say is, like, I was part of the GH rap music scene. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the success that you see in Ghana right now was built off the backs of us, like me, J Soul, the Skillions, Joey B, Gemini. It was built off our backs because we were doing it like how Gets and them lot were doing the UK garage and grime thing back in the day. Do you know what I mean? So when I was there, I had an English accent and I was rapping in an English accent because obviously I'm from England, innit? So that's how I rapped. And obviously I was very in tune with grime as opposed to hip hop, because even when I was in London, before I went over there, I grew up to listening to like demo tapes of Dizzy Rascal and what I mean. So Wiley, like Who Ate All the Pies and stuff like that, and them kind of days where you had to get the tapes. So when I'm listening to when I'm in Ghana now, they're looking at me as like, yo, this is the grime guy, and I'm also making grime as well. Remember UK music as well. It wasn't that big, but people don't know that. But in Ghana, a lot of UK people, like the UK artists, were banging it out in Ghana, like for real. Like I knew a lot of my brethren in Ghana would listen to Kano. They love Kano. A lot of them, they love Dizzy Rascal. So when they heard me, it's like, raw, someone from London. We ain't been to London before, but we've heard them, and there's someone who raps like this. So through that, I just got a lot of attention. And luckily, the area which I grew up in, it was amazing because that same area was the area that pushed GH rap. So that was a Denta. And one of the producers, J Soul, who's like a big time producer right now, he produced like Sarkodie's first album. He produced a lot of people's works. Like he's worked with all the biggest artists in Africa, MI, you name it. He's worked with a lot of people. And we had the privilege of being around this guy. So we had the privilege of working with him, and obviously he would bring these people around. So even before Sarkodie and all them man blew, we would see them in the studio and stuff. So luckily we're in an area where this hip hop and this musical energy is kind of flourishing. So I just kind of slotted myself in there. And then through that, I just got, I was in a group called Ghetto Rep, and then we got radio shows, then we got tours, and then we got a little buzz out there. And by the time we realized, we had a little fan base in Ghana, so it was all organic.
Do you think that from a supportive point of view, Ghana is more supportive of artists than the UK is? Because one of the questions that come up a lot, and one of the concerns that come up quite a lot is that some people feel like in the UK, they're not as supportive. They're a bit more, it's either a get-along gang kind of vibe, or it's one of those ones of, what can you do for me? Or if you're big enough, then I'll help you. What do you think about that?
I think it's the same. Like, I had the same thing in Ghana as well, to be fair. Like, in Ghana, that's one of the reasons I left as well. I was like, bro, I want to explore music in the diff, because this place, it's good. Man's got a little buzz. It's working out, but it's just like, bro, it's slow at the minute. It's not going the way I want it to go. So I feel like when you're in a space, I feel like sometimes the support doesn't directly come there because people see how you're living, people see things about you, and you're close. But I feel like when you're further away, it's more respect. So I would say now I'm in the UK. Support does come from the UK. Thank you to everyone who supports me in the UK. But I get so much support from Ghana. When I put stuff up, like my 4 Sides music video, which I dropped in the UK, has done 33K on YouTube, but in Ghana, I got a call from my cousin's wife saying, "Oh, I saw your video on TV in Ghana," and I didn't even know how it got on TV. So it's like in Ghana, they've become more supportive because I've gone out. So now they're looking at it like, wow, like, you know, he's on BBCs with Semtex, like, yo, this is, you know. So I think sometimes when you're in a place, people just don't necessarily see that value sometimes. And I feel like the UK can do a bit more in terms of supporting, but I feel like sometimes there's not a lot of money. And I honestly feel like maybe some people are not living the way they rap, or they're not, people see them to be bigger than what they actually are. So it's harder for them to reach out to help you, because you will see how they live and you will see they're not really at where they say they are. So I think that's where it is. And it's also very cliquey in the UK as well. It's very cliquey. So you need someone to bring you in. So before you're getting into that door or into that meeting, Semtex has to bring you in and say, right, that's my guy Nash, he needs to come in, or Wretch has to say, yeah, I'm standing with Avelino's coming in. Do you get what I mean? Sure. And I feel like that's how the UK is to some degree.
And it's funny, you mentioned Wretch 32 as well, but I know that he's reached out and given you support. So tell me a little bit about that, actually.
That is amazing. Yeah, so with Wretch, I met Wretch 2015. So I won a competition, Opportunity Knocks. It's weird how it happened. One day I got home from work. And what I did was I put on my laptop and I saw this competition. I saw this thing on GRM Daily saying Opportunity Knocks. Does anyone want to meet Wretch? I said, bro, I'd like to meet Wretch. Why not? And I just filled out this application where I want to meet Wretch. And then from there, they just hit me up. They said, yeah, bro, we want you to meet Wretch. What are the questions you're going to ask him? We want you to interview him. So I said, bro, okay, cool, I'll come through. So I went over to Purple PR, sat down with Wretch, and had an interview with Wretch. But the interview that was on GRM Daily was only like 20 minutes. But me and Wretch sat down for about an hour and we conversated. And I think he kind of saw I was hungry. He saw the talent. He invited me studio. After the session, he was like, yo, bro, come studio. I'm gonna hit you up, come studio. Obviously, things got in the way. You know how artists are busy. It's just never happened. And then what happened is I did a black box freestyle. Oh, yeah. So with the black box freestyle I did it over one of Wretch 32's beats. So Wretch 32 had this beat on, this was when he was bringing out Avelino. And they were doing like a little project. So the song was Wretch 32, Avelino, and it was Young Teflon. So I did the same beat and I did a black box. So when I did the black box, I put it out. Funny enough, it didn't even do that many views. It did like 6,000 views. But I put it on my Instagram. And when I put it on my Instagram, El Hay hit me up because El Hay had used the beat as well. And he put a fire emoji underneath. And Wretch 32 commented on it. And then from there, it was just like, yo, like, yeah, you're sick. Like, bro, like anything, you get me? Like, if I can help you in any way, I'll help you. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we conversate in the DMs, we'll talk, we'll share music. But it hasn't been anything like crazy where it's been like, yo, here's a deal where I'm taking you here or I'm taking you there. But he's definitely supported my music by liking it, by commenting, by sharing it sometimes, you know, and just always giving me that advice. And he's always known that I'm a spitter. So sometimes we'll put up bars and stuff and we'll laugh and we're like, oh yeah, this is the lyricist thing. This is the lyrical thing that we, you know, so yeah, that's how the Wretch 32 thing came about. And then, yeah, we're still in contact up to this day, you know, and it's all love. I'm happy that I was noticed by an artist that I potentially looked up to and I didn't even think I would even meet. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But to meet him and to get that co-sign and for him to say, "Rah, you know, you got something," like, you know, that to me, that's just like, yeah.
I think artists from that generation are more supportive, especially with the new talent coming through because they understand the journey a lot more. I feel like the artists from this kind of generation aren't going to really understand that as of yet. But artists like Wretch 32, like Kano, Lethal Bizzle, for example, they're always very supportive of new talent in any kind of way. Because also I feel like newer artists might see other artists as a bit of a threat. With artists on those kind of levels, they've obviously had the majority of their career making music on how they want it to be. They've already established themselves. So now it's about the philanthropy side of things and helping out from that way. And it's with artists like Wretch 32 that you mentioned, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Big up Wretch all the time, man. Good guy.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about as well is a couple of your projects. One of them is the new one, Love and Frequency. So now that has been released as a single, right? So is this kind of be coming off an EP alongside the four sides or four squares? The four sides, right?
Four sides, yes,
right,
four sides. So four sides, Love and Frequency. So what we're doing, we're rolling out the singles, and so at some point this year, you're going to get the project. It's going to be 8 songs. And yeah, they will get the project at some point, man. We're just rolling it out slowly, just based on how everything's going. I've noticed that people consume music differently. And I feel like with my music, it's a lot to take in sometimes. Like, it's a lot of information and a lot of things I'm saying. So it's like, if I give everything to them at once, it's going to be like, well, this is too much. So what I've planned to do is give it in little doses until I'm ready to give them the whole project, you know. But yeah, the project is called Love and Frequencies, and it will be coming out 100%. We've got 4 sides out right now, and Love and Frequencies.
Because one of the things that caught my attention from you is the Gotham track, which when I was on radio, I used to play on radio a lot. That, the remix, and the sort of artists that you work with as well. I feel like you definitely have a base of good relationships with a lot of UK artists. On all levels. Obviously, you've mentioned Wretch too, but I mean on all levels as well, especially those who are up and coming in the independent sphere. But one of the things that caught me the most was the Gotham track to me, because it wasn't like something that I usually hear, and so now every time I get music, it's all drill. So what's your thoughts on the genre of drill, and how is Gotham set apart from what's out there at the moment, in your opinion?
It's crazy because Gotham was made in 2016, and it was released in 2019. But I always knew it was a dope record. Like, so me and my shout out Manus, who produced it, we just kept that record there. So after we released Shackles, I went quiet for a bit. We said, you know what, we need to wake these people up. So we need something that's going to do that. And I always banked on Gotham doing that. And Gotham came from a place where I was kind of questioning myself. Well, what am I really going to do music? Because the type of music I'm making is different. So in order for me to actually say I'm going to do music, I have to go with the path of longevity. I can't go with no short term. I have to kind of stick with this thing over and over until I build that fan base. So Gotham was like, all right, cool. This is the direction that I'm going. It's hip hop. This is the type of music we're going to make. I didn't know it was going to bang the way it banged, but I feel like everyone felt that sort of way. Everyone gets to a point in their life where they question themselves. So when I was throwing those questions, it was giving people that provoking thought in their mind. Like, yeah, what is my purpose? What is my vision? Am I real? You know, a lot of us like say things, but the question is, are we really real? Are we really who we say we are? Or are these like false characters that we make up to kind of fit in? So in terms of Gotham, in relation to like drill and stuff, like I have no issues with drill. Like I have trap songs and I have songs over trap beats like I've made sitting there. The only issue I would say, not even an issue, what I would say with drill is, I mean, it's 50-50. As human beings, you got to watch what you're taking in it. Whatever you're taking in has an effect on you, whether you believe it or not. Like if someone tells you a lie over and over and over and over again, and you don't know it's a lie, you believe it to be true. That's brainwashing. Do you get me? So I look at my music as, I'm kind of like the balance. So yeah, someone can listen to a bit of drill, but then if they want some food for thought, they're gonna go to Gotham. And I feel like Gotham and being set apart, Gotham, it doesn't take anything away from me or from a drill artist, because everybody will get to a point where they want to think. You know, we're human beings. We'll get to a point where we'll question ourselves, or we'll question something, or we want to have a quiet moment and think. And I feel like that's where my music comes in, as in terms of headphone music. And drill is more of, it's a season now, because think about it, we're in a COVID era. We're in a rebellious state right now. So human energy right now is on thought-provoking music and also war, you know. So I feel like this is why drill is doing what it's doing now, because we're in that energy of war. The government's doing this, they're doing that, and you know, like, so I have no problem with them, man.
In response to you spoke about purpose as well, understanding yourself. What would you say your purpose is? Do you know what your purpose is?
Do you know what? Every day as I wake up, I uncover my purpose, man. I'm uncovering it bit by bit. But I do know that music is a part of my purpose, and I feel like music is it's also a vehicle for me to convey a message, you know, just in a melodic way. But to say I don't know whether I'll be making music forever, I might start writing books, I might start writing poetry. But I feel like my purpose in life is definitely related to that higher consciousness and higher frequency. So more of kind of, I'm not saying I don't know it all as well. Like I don't know it all. Like I wish I did, man. It would be so easier, so much easier. But I feel like what I do know, I'm encouraged to share through my art, and I feel like that's my purpose. You know, to be the positive balance in a world that's negative, in a world that is filled and flourishing with negativity. You know, and I feel like with me being different as well, it's not like I try to be different. I just have no problem with it. Like I really have no problem with being who I am. Like I'm very comfortable in my skin. So that's what shows me that, yeah, this has to be part of your purpose. Otherwise you wouldn't feel comfortable doing this amidst all of this that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like in the industry at the moment, do you think it's hard to maintain that authenticity and that integrity in an industry which is kind of built on fakeness and clout and image?
Do you know what? I look at this, like, this is something that came to me when I was, this kind of question was, one thing I looked at is music. It's something I've even put it in a bar. Music came before the business. Now music is a business. So music was there before this whole business was formed, innit? So for me, one of the things that I've kind of kept close to my heart is I'm a pure, authentic artist. Like when I create, I don't think about it. It's like I download this information and it just comes in and I'm just writing and it's coming out, especially when it's over a hip hop beat. So in terms of me maintaining my authenticity within the industry, I will always maintain my authenticity within the industry. There's no label, there's no one that can change me because I won't change. Do you know what I mean? And I won't stop making music until there gets to a point where the Most High goes, do you know what? Nash, it's time. Stop making music, Nash. Stop making music. But until the Most High don't tell me to stop making music, I'm gonna be here, and I'm sticking to that authentic path. And I feel like people, as much as there is fakeness, bro, people, the realness is always gonna be there. Like even Drake says it in that tune. All that fake shit is not gonna last. That real stuff always stays.
You know what's interesting about that though, actually, is when you say that is because everyone's got a different version of what real is, and that's true. This is the problem. True because everyone thinks it's a blanket statement. Okay, this is real and this is real, but no. Real to you might be different to real what's to me is, and so forth and so forth. And I think that's what the problem is. There's one person that's going to judge person as, oh, you're being fake and you're being real. But if it's real to that person, it's their reality. So it's a bit of a tough one because especially now everyone's like, oh, this person's real because of pretty much emptiness and not really anything of substance, because a lot of things now are built on emptiness as opposed to substance and integrity. So especially in the industry, everything's just based on numbers and clout, but then somehow that's real because that person has that. Or if someone's just being a decent human being, that makes them real, but you should be a decent human being anyway. It depends what your threshold is. So it's just an interesting thing to always think about in that kind of way.
You hit the nail on the head. That you hit the nail on the head. It's true. Everyone's definition of real is different. So yes, but I mean, in terms of the fake and the cloutness, we know about the clout, people doing things for clout. Like, because you can see through it. Like when someone's doing something for clout, well, for me personally, I can see through. I'm like, this is for clout, this is for numbers, you can kind of see through. And I feel like the authenticity, people will still, even people who do things for clout will still resonate with authenticity. Do you get what I'm saying? I think authenticity comes with you being your core, like your core self to your core self to a core. Do you know what I mean? Being yourself. And I think that's what I am. I'm just being myself. Like I'm not gonna change that to fit in. And I think people resonate with that, and then people start to respect that, you know. But you're right with what you're saying in terms of the real is subjective, isn't it? Everyone has their own definition of it.
It's just always interesting because the industry has changed over a number of years, so it's always good to watch and speak to people who have experienced it on different sort of levels and in different sort of spaces and with different generations of artists as well. So it just makes me think. It just makes me think for sure. And like I said previously, at the start of the interview, one of the things I've known you for is the performance aspect of it, and that's why your name got thrown about a lot, because I'd see you on the flyers, Boy Nash. I'd see you here and then I'd go to lineups, it'd be Boy Nash and stuff like that. So that's how you kind of came to my attention as well. And it's the consistency as well. Like there won't be a period of time where I don't receive music from you. I'll be like, okay, there's music, and straight away the association, because I get so much music. But now I work on, of course, new music is great, but what will come to mind first is if I've heard you before, so I know what to expect. And about that, so it is quite pardon me, it's quite it's just interesting, man. It's just very interesting, and now just with the way the industry's going, and that's what I want to ask you. That's what I was going with. That is your thoughts on streams. I was reading something the other day, and they're saying that an artist needs to have like 80,000. What was it, 80,000 or like 500,000 streams or something crazy to make what was it? I can't remember the exact numbers, but I know they have to stream for some ridiculous amount to make 80k a year. And as someone who's probably grown up in the time of CDs, online streaming, digital streaming, and stuff like that, what's your thoughts on it? On streaming platforms?
On streaming, streaming's just it's mashed up the game, but it's also made the game easier as well.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's just made the game very, very, very good but bad. It's like technology brings this goodness, but then it also brings this little evil with it as well. So like for example, streams now, they can be manipulated as well. You know, and that's the problem as well. So people can manipulate their streams, and people are always finding their ways around it to get streams. You know, so now nothing is authentic. And I think there was an interview that I saw. It was Getz and Semtex, and Getz said something deep, which I saw on one of the Instagrams. Was he said people listen to music with their eyes. Like they'll look at a view and go, "Oh, it's only got 2,000 views, so the song's trash." But that's not the case, and I think that's what streaming has done, man. It's really taken away from the authentic artists, and it's really taken away from people just putting out music. So before, where you could just have a CD and go around sharing or put out music, now you can reach lots of people, but if you don't have promotion behind your Spotify or behind what you're doing, you're not seen as relevant, because it's like, oh well, people ain't checking for you. So if you're only doing like 2,000 streams, then people are no one's checking for you. And I think for me that was an issue that man had which I had in the past, was good music but not enough streams. Good music, oh yeah bro, like your stuff is lit, man, I would love to work with you, but bro, we need the numbers, it's a business. So I think that's what Spotify has done. But then on the other hand, it's also made it very easy and very easy for people to get your music. You know, and now Spotify is going to Africa. Like that's going to be amazing. The number of people in Africa that are going to listen to music. But then also there's a flip side where artists ain't even getting paid that much. Yeah, you know, $0.04 a stream. It's like, it's not a lot, you know. So now, what are you telling artists? You're trying to tell artists to keep on fueling this Spotify, this streaming machine, but then we're getting peanuts from it. And without us, your platform is non-existent. But you take majority of the money, and we don't take a lot. So it's like, it has its benefits, it has its pros and its cons.
I suppose it's like music, well, not exactly the same, but even with music videos, like you're saying about the numbers, if it's on a huge platform like Link Up or Grime Daily and stuff like that, sometimes people look at it like, you've only got 10k, and 10k is still a lot, but 10k on Link Up on Grime Daily should be more, because their audiences are in the millions. So it brings up that as well. And then a lot of artists are speaking about just releasing everything on their own platform, because it's great to pay to put it on these huge platforms like Grime Daily, Link Up, etc. But if it's not really resonating and it's just getting lost in everything else, is it really worth it? Are you better off just putting it on your own? And I feel like that's the direction a lot of people are going now, that they want to do things through their own platforms, no matter how big or small their platforms are, because at least that's authentic listens and authentic interaction and people who really appreciate it. Yeah,
I remember, you're right. Even to touch on what you said, Rob, like, I remember when I came in the game, when I was trying to figure it out, I didn't know nothing, man. I didn't know nothing about it, man. I just come back fresh from Ghana, back to one of my boys, Sheldon Warren. So big up Sheldon Warren, man. And we just I didn't know what to do. So we started, and one day I went to Hip Hop Nation open mic. That's where I saw like Banks and Shay Lingo and all of them, what they were performing. I was like, okay, so this is how it goes. So it's open mics. Then we got to a point where we were like, nah, we have to get on Link Up TV. We get on Link Up TV, that's when we're gonna bust. So we figured, and them times it wasn't even a thing where you could contact them directly to pay. You needed a connection to get to them. You needed someone to get to Link Up TV. And then I think I ended up working. I worked for a youth organization, and that youth organization was in the same building that Link Up was. So through that, I was able to meet like Joey Clipstar, and then Rashid and all them lot. So then I met them through that. And then I was able to get on Link Up around those times as well. And then I thought that was the way. But when I got on Link Up, I didn't do a lot of views. So I was hella baffled. I was like, I thought if I get on this platform, this is what's going to work for me. Now, long story short, growing in the music industry, what I've realized is building your platform is the best way forward for me anyway, especially when you're a different type of artist. You know, if you're authentic and you're different to what is out there, sometimes building your own platform is good. You have to look at yourself and how you're branding yourself. So for me, I'm more comfortable just building my niche and just building my thing. So that's where I'm at the moment. And it's even got to a point, I was even telling my brethren the other day, like, I don't even know if I'm even going to be shooting videos anymore, because the return on investment as an artist shooting videos, I don't even see it. Like, it's like you spend so much money shooting videos, but the return doesn't come back. But as opposed to Spotify, you can see, if you put that same money in Spotify, you can kind of see a bit more of a return as opposed to YouTube. So I think as you grow in the industry, you start to realize what's for you and what isn't for you, and you kind of figure it out.
And I think there's so many different factors now when you factor in not even just link up anymore. If you look at platforms like I'm Just Bait, millions and millions of subscribers charging however much to be put on there. Now that's another thing. Is it better to be put on a meme page essentially and get more traction and more followers than it is being put on a music platform? It's kind of crazy. There's not one way of doing things anymore. There's not, like you said, it's not just perform, link up, grime, whatever. Now it's like, okay, cool, I could do something on TikTok and put something out on TikTok, or I could pitch it and put it on, pay that money I would put a video on and just put it on I'm Just Bait or Made You Think or whatever. So there are more options, but I feel like because there's so many options, that's why it makes it difficult, because you might try to replicate someone else's. So something that might have worked for one artist necessarily doesn't mean it's going to work for another. I think that's a bit of the problem, having too many choices.
Yeah, I agree with that as well, 100%, man. Too many choices. But again, once you look at your brand and you see what the best way is for you to market, like, then you see. But like, I've heard people use I'm Just Bait and it's worked for them. You know, I've seen people use Made You Think and it's worked for them. You know, I've seen people use Link Up and it's worked for them. So I think every artist is different, man.
Yeah, there's varies. And that's interesting, actually, just back on what you were saying about Hip Hop Nations, because I was at Hip Hop Nation those kind of times. So Miss Banks, Jordan Morris, Shay Lingo, and if you look at all those three names in particular, Miss Banks, you know, is killing it, Shay Lingo is killing it. And ironically, Shay Lingo, I would say, is the artist, even though you guys are two separate artists, I feel like the direction of the kind of music you put out is quite similar. So that's why it kind of resonates with me a lot, because I'm a big fan of his and your music as well. So that's the kind of, and to me, when I've seen that in the beginning, I thought, is this really gonna work? Is this what people really want? But you know, he's got the numbers, he's got the performances, he's got the relationships. He did a BT Cypher not so long ago as well. So it does. There is a demand. It's just about where it's being put. And I feel like, especially for your music and someone like his music, I feel like Americans resonate a lot with this kind of music because of the whole hip hop / conscious / backpack type rapper. I know that's always something which appeals to Americans quite a bit. Have you found that?
Yeah, Americans love me, man. Yeah, man. I remember my guy in Sinner, every time he tells me, but Americans are, do you know the crazy thing though, Rob? Americans are mad supportive, you know?
Yeah.
It is crazy. Like, I sometimes feel like if I was in America, man, I would have done it, man, because they just want to help you, man.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my boy telling me, he's like, Nash, just fly over to Atlanta. As soon as you land in Atlanta, we're taking care of everything, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a sponsor for you. I've got studio for you. I've got like, and it's like genuine love. It's not like he's doing it.
It's funny you say that, actually, because I spoke to Young Fumes the other day, or like a couple of weeks ago now, and he was saying exactly the same thing. And he's an artist who's from the UK, but he spends a lot of time in like Atlanta and all those kind of cities. And he's just like, it's just more organic there. So we'll just couple of relationships, and they just support you properly. Because in America, all you need is really one state. If you get one state, boom, you're kind of cool, really, because the numbers from one state is equivalent to the UK and some of Europe in one hit, you know. So, and his thing is just like, I'm not purposely trying to avoid working in the UK or working with artists in the UK. It's just the fact that in America, it's a bigger, you know what I mean? You're not always like a drop in an ocean over there, you know. Yeah. And over here it is kind of densely populated about the artists, and there's a hierarchy, I believe, in some sort of way. But at least over there, they'll accept you however you are, whatever kind of music you make, as long as it's good music, you know? So that's definitely something I've noticed anyway.
Yeah, 100%. I think over there, they just love music, man. They love music. And I feel like over here, we love music, but it's more of the clout.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of who is doing the music, who is behind the music. They buy more into. I think over here we kind of buy more into the person as opposed to the music. Whereas America, I think they buy more into they just love music. Like I remember meeting one girl, I didn't even know her from anywhere. Like just met her on Clubhouse. She's just quick to like, no, your music's sick. I'm gonna connect you to this person. I'm gonna give you that person. And the next minute, I know I'm having a conversation with Sony just from meeting this girl in a Clubhouse room who I've never met. And I was like, you know what? America's different, man. America's just so different. In the UK, for someone to give you that link or that level of link, it's just like.
I know, because it's definitely over here. It's like we should link up. We should totally link up. We should totally work. And there's this empty in it. Like in America, it's like, yo, we should work, and it actually means we'll work, innit? Over here, it's just like, yeah, we definitely need to work. I mean, like you're saying, going back to being real and all that kind of other stuff. Me personally, like if I like your vibe and your vibe, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, come. Like, and I've only met a handful of people like that, to be honest with you. One of them definitely is Rob Bruce from Capital Extra. He's a real don. So I remember when I was doing my podcast, I was just like, yeah, I think it'd be great to have you on. He's like, yeah, cool. And to me, like, he's on a big commercial station, you know what I mean, and all these kind of things. Some people are a bit more, I don't know, rare, and numbers and all this kind of stuff. But he's just a real dude, man, for sure. And he's a support of the UK music as well. So we have that in common, really, to be honest. He understands a lot of stuff. But a lot of the time, some people are just like, yeah, let's work. And then it comes down to it, and it's just a bit peacock. I don't know.
It's true. Yeah, it is.
You know, without putting anyone on blast. You know,
big up the UK, man. We can't hit. I love the UK, man. You know, it's still home. It's still big up the UK, man. I think we're growing in it, so hopefully all of that will change at some point.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's been nice, you know, UK scene and stuff. But I think the most important thing to remember is Love and Frequency is out now on Spotify and all other digital platforms, Google Play, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to your music, it's available on all of those. Like you said about videos, are videos going to be something for this?
Sorry, we got a video. No, we got a video. Sorry, we got a video for 4 sides.
Yeah.
Love and Frequencies. There is a video exclusive. I've told you that now. There is a video.
There we go.
But when I'm gonna drop that, I have no idea, man. But more music's coming. But you will get the video at some point.
And when can we expect the EP with the rest of these tracks on?
Why am I doing what? Sorry.
When can we expect the EP?
So, well, I'm thinking sometime this year, man. Probably summertime. I'm thinking summertime, man. Sometime in the summer, I think I'm gonna drop the EP. And then just push it throughout the whole year, you know, couple press here and there. But yeah, summertime is what it's
Will you be back on the stage soon?
Do you know what? I want to be, man, but we just, this whole COVID thing, we don't know what's going on now.
It's messing with everybody's bag. But you know what it is? It's confusing as well, because I found out today that Wireless is supposed to be happening, Park Life is supposed to be happening in September, Afro Nation may or may not be happening. I don't know, innit? Like, because they could, you know, you could turn it around, and you need to make sure you got a pandemic clause in your contract. That's what you need to do. I even know.
Yeah, no, they're gonna turn that. But all that's going. If people, they that's their little bait to get people to get the vaccinations, isn't it? Yeah, you want to go Afro Nation?
Yeah.
You know, that's the little bait. So it depends on how many people.
I'm happy indoors, man. I'll just stay indoors. I'll just stay. I'll just stay indoors. Okay, like. I don't even go to them. Like I went to Strawberries and Creams. Was it last year, the year before, whatever. That was cool, but that's work. Do you know what I mean? I don't really go to really.
Oh, was you interviewing there?
Yeah, so I was at Strawberries and Cream and hooked up with Morrison, Young T and Bugsy, Big Tobes, Conniva, a couple of the guys there.
Okay,
dope. Yeah, like I'm there on job, innit? So if they're like, you can't come to these festivals unless you get vaccinated, I'm like, okay, well, I didn't want to work there anyway. You're butters anyway. You know what I mean? So like, wasn't even bothered, bruv. Wasn't bothered anyway.
Before they jab me, boy, I'm giving it a bit of like, listen, I need to see what's happening.
Yeah, I'm like, everyone.
You lot go first, innit?
Yeah, basically, I'm in no rush. And me personally, man, I feel like I'm in better health than most people, you know, touch wood. So I'm like, okay, cool, innit? Like, I've had probably more dangerous things try to kill me than COVID, boy. So there we go. But you know, wash your hands and stay safe and listen to Boris. That fucking donor, mate. How you listen to someone who don't even comb their hair? Anyway, but it's whatever. But like I said, Love and Frequency out there. All love.
Yeah, Love and
4
Frequency
sides
out
is out as well. But come on, man, have you seen the state of that guy? He's just really this guy. You know what? I just feel like some people just pedestalize too many people. It's like people pedestalizing you know that guy Derek Jackson. Oh mate.
Yeah. People just people. I don't know. People are looking for leadership, man. People are lost in it, so people are looking for leadership, and if everyone's going one way, man. But you know one thing my friend told me is when don't follow the crowd, man. If you follow the crowd, that's when you get lost, man. You're gonna go down, you're going to slaughter.
Yeah, for
sure. So for me, I'm just trying to navigate it the way I think is right for myself. And I feel like even right now, before we wrap up, I feel like right now, the war is on your mind. And nobody can help you but yourself, because nobody's in your mind. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like right now I'm looking at, I have to make decisions for myself, because I might be in a household where someone's going to get vaccinated and I'm not, or maybe I'm going to get vaccinated and someone's not. I can't judge nobody on what they do. Everyone has their own brain and has their mind.
Of course, and I think that's the main thing as well. I think some people, it's when we come to debate and things like that, it's always, for me it's simple. You might have an opinion, I have an opinion, and we don't agree. But okay, that's your opinion, that's mine. But some people are in this kind of world where, no, this is my opinion. You need to take my opinion. You need to change your opinion to be my opinion. Otherwise, cancel. I'm like, nah, I don't think so, Susan. I don't think so. Like, I'm not for it. I'm more than open to having a debate, and I respect that other people have decisions and opinions of what they want to do about stuff. But I've already made my decision. I'm just listening to yours, you know. So it's a tricky one, and I don't know. And I think a lot of people speak from a place of ignorance anyway. So and then people will judge you based on your opinion of stuff. It's your opinion. You're allowed to have it. Like, there's no wrong. Like your opinion. Like if let's say I don't agree with your opinion, but you're entitled to have that. It's not my job to convince you to make your opinion mine. Do you know what I mean? So people need to get woke, son. Get woke. Get woke and boys, comb your hair. That's what I'm gonna say. but I'm gonna let you go, man. But thanks again for coming through. For those who have joined us on here, this is gonna be available on YouTube. It's gonna be available on Twitch TV, which is twitch.tv/YourHostRob. Well, twitch.tv/YourHostRob. I've put Boy Nash's socials into the chat, so make sure you take a look at that and give it a listen under their new music. And it'll be available. It's out now. Make sure you give them a follow on Instagram as well. And once again, man, thanks very much for sitting down and talking with us. It's very interesting, man. Learned a lot about you as an artist. Don't think we've ever spoke on this kind of level, just through emails and whatnot. So it's really good to get your read on things as well. So I appreciate your time, and I hope everything else goes well. And I hope you stay safe and stay locked down, or go out, or wear your mask or don't wear your mask, whatever it is to you. You know, and enjoy the rest of your week, man. It's a real pleasure having you on.
Thank you, Rob, man. No also, keep doing what you're doing as well, man.
I appreciate that.
You're doing big things, man. Keep it up, man.
I appreciate that
as well.
All right, take care.
Bless it, bro.
Peace.